I am Sarah, 29 years old, and a successful graphic designer in Austin, Texas. After 5 years of barely any contact with my conservative family, I got this out of the blue invitation to a family meeting back home. Little did I know, my mom would stare me down in our living room, sneer right in my face, and spit out, "Your job is shameful," before my sister grabbed my wrist and dragged me toward the door, hissing, "You don't deserve to be here." The words hit like a slap. My designs branding for women reclaiming their lives after trauma weren't art to her. They were a stain on the family name, something the church crowd was whispering about. I stood there shaking as the door slammed behind me. That night in the motel, I replayed it, all the betrayal burning. 1 week later, my phone buzzed nonstop. My mom's voice cracked through the line, trembling. "They're going to beat up your sister. Please help." She was begging for money again. $100,000 to bail out her son-in-law's mess. I typed back 3 simple words. "You deserve it." 5 years earlier, it all started crumbling over that tense family dinner in Willow Creek. I was 24, fresh out of design school in Austin with a partial scholarship and big dreams of building something real. My portfolio, simple logos, and websites for local artists had landed me a freelance gig that paid the rent. But back home for a rare visit, the air felt thick with the usual expectations. Mom had called it a quick catch-up, but as we sat around the oak table, her eyes darted between Dad and my sister like she was rehearsing lines. "Dad," Frank just nodded along, his fork scraping the plate in silence. He always deferred to her lead. My sister Chloe, 21 and newly married to Brian, the golden boy from the church youth group, smiled too wide, her hand resting on her barely showing belly. She was the perfect one, teaching Sunday school and baking pies for bake sales, while I was the outlier with my laptop full of frivolous sketches. Halfway through the meal, Mom set down her napkin and leaned forward. "Sarah, we've got a problem," she said, voice low and urgent. "Brian's in deep. He owes $100,000 to some bad lenders from his side bets at the track. They're threatening him, threatening all of us." I froze, fork midway to my mouth. "Brian, with his clean-shaven smile and bank teller job gambling?" Chloe's face paled, but she squeezed his hand under the table. "It's not his fault," she whispered. "Work stress got to him," Mom cut in sharp. "He needs help now, Sarah. You're doing well out there. Those design things. Wire the money, or they'll come for him." For Chloe and the baby, my stomach twisted. "Mom, that's insane. Why not go to the police or a counselor?" Her eyes narrowed. "Police and air our dirty laundry to the whole church? No, family handles family. Pay it or your sister's life falls apart. You owe us for all those years we put up with your rebellion." Dad cleared his throat but said nothing, just pushed his peas around. Chloe teared up. "Please sis, he's trying to stop. Just this once." I pushed back from the table, the chair scraping loud. "If he's in that deep, it's not just bets. And you all knew." Chloe had to have heard me. She looked away, fingers tracing her arm, a faint shadow there under the sleeve, gone before I could focus. Mom snapped. "Enough questions. This is about loyalty, not your fancy ideas. Pay up or you're no daughter of mine." The room went dead quiet. I saw it then, the way Mom gripped the table edge, her knuckles white, like she'd rehearsed this ambush. They'd waited until I had something to squeeze. "I won't fund a lie," I said, voice steady despite the shake in my chest. "Not when it's covering up whatever's really going on." Mom's face hardened. "Then get out. We don't need your judgment." I grabbed my bag, heart pounding as I headed for the door. Chloe stood halfway, mouth open, but Mom pulled her down. "Let her go. She's chosen her path." Outside, the Texas night air hit cold, stars sharp overhead. I drove straight back to Austin that night. The $600 Dad slipped me on the porch, his quiet rebellion barely covering gas. From then on, the calls stopped. Texts dried up. 5 years of silence broken only by the occasional birthday card I ignored. But deep down, I knew it wasn't over. Traps like that don't vanish. They just reload. Those 5 years in Austin turned that rejection into fuel. I crashed on a friend's couch at first, the $600 from Dad stretching thin against rent and groceries. Days blurred into barista shifts at a downtown coffee spot, steaming lattes for tech bros who tipped in crypto promises. Nights I hunched over my second-hand laptop in the dim glow of a walk-up studio, tweaking logos and mock-ups until my eyes burned. Ramen noodles and thrift store hoodies became my uniform. No frills, just grind. The breakthrough hit unexpected, like most good breaks do. A regular at the shop, a startup founder named Maya, overheard me sketching client briefs on napkins. She ran a nonprofit for women starting over after tough spots, divorces, job losses, you name it. Show me what you've got, she said. One rainy afternoon, I pulled up my portfolio on my cracked phone screen. Clean lines, bold colors, celebrating strength in simple icons. She booked me on the spot for her rebrand, a website that screamed resilience without shouting. Word spread from there. Maya's site went viral in local women's networks, pulling in 3 more gigs that month. I quit the coffee grind, cut waitress hours to weekends only. Every dollar funneled back into a better tablet for digital sketches. Business cards with my logo, a stylized key unlocking a door. By year 2, I shared a warehouse studio downtown with 2 other freelancers. The space buzzing with printers humming and critique sessions over takeout tacos. That's where I met Ava, a sharp lawyer who just wrapped a big case on workplace harassment. We bonded over late-night edits, her venting about depositions while I refined her firm's sleek victim support portal. You make survivors look unbreakable, she told me once, scrolling through a gallery of client testimonials. Our work overlapped my designs for her pro bono client sites that hid resources behind empowering visuals. She became my sounding board, the one person who got why I poured everything into this. The niche found me. Women reached out for branding that flipped their stories, logos for therapy practices born from personal pain, color palettes evoking quiet power for advocacy blogs. No stiff corporate stuff, just art that said, "You've got this." One series, Reclaim Your Mark, featured icons of women mid-transformation and earned me a regional award from the Austin Design Collective. The ceremony was small, a rooftop under string lights, but the plaque on my wall felt like proof. I'd built an agency from scraps, turning that ultimatum into a business pulling steady 5 figures a year. Family faded to background noise. Mom's birthday calls lasted under 2 minutes, weather updates, church potlucks. Never a word about my wins. Chloe's texts popped up, sporadic baby pics, vague miss you notes I left unread. Dad sent nothing, his silence louder than Mom's jabs. I told myself it was fine. That distance healed the raw edges from that dinner. Then out of nowhere, Mom's number lit up my screen one Tuesday evening. I almost let it ring out, but something in the voicemail, her voice clipped, almost scripted, pulled me back. "Sarah, family meeting this weekend. Important. Come home." No please, no details. My gut twisted. 5 years of quiet and now this. Red flags waved hard. Why drag me back after ignoring my life? But Chloe's last text, a blurry shot of her kid's first steps, nagged at me. What if it was real trouble? I rearranged client calls, packed a bag, and hit the road before dawn. The 4-hour drive east wound through flatlands dotted with oil rigs, my mind racing through scenarios. Trap or truce? By the time Willow Creek's water tower loomed, doubt clawed in, but turning back felt like surrender. The drive ended with Willow Creek's familiar sprawl, same faded billboards for feed stores, and the steeple piercing the sky like a warning. I pulled up to the house on Elm Street, shutters fresh painted in that crisp white Mom obsessed over. Her minivan sat in the drive, flanked by Dad's old pickup. No Chloe's car yet, but lights glowed warm through the curtains. I killed the engine, sat a beat, then grabbed my overnight bag. Mom answered the door quick, her hug stiff and a quick release. "Sarah, you made it. No warmth in it, just duty." The place smelled of lemon cleaner and pot roast, the entry wall lined with framed photos. Chloe's wedding, the baby's baptism, Dad at church events. Mine stopped at high school graduation, faded at the edge. We settled in the dining room, plates steaming under the chandelier. Dad at the head, fork methodical. Mom passed the rolls. Chatter, light rain chances, gas prices, how the church roof leaked last storm. Chloe arrived late, slipping in with a tired smile, her 2-year-old on her hip, thumb in mouth. "Sorry, traffic," she said, settling the kid in a booster with crackers. The boy cooed, oblivious, while she avoided my eyes. Plates cleared, coffee poured. Black. Mom set her mug down, deliberate. "We didn't call you for small talk, Sarah." Her tone shifted, edged. "Brian's in trouble again, deeper this time. $100,000 more to those lenders. They're circling, saying things that'll ruin us all." I leaned back. The chair creaked loud in the quiet. Dad sipped, silent, eyes on his cup. Chloe bounced the kid, her gentle face tight again. I echoed, like 5 years ago. You fixed it. Then why drag me back? Mom's jaw set. Because you're the only one who can. Your agency is doing numbers now, from what I hear. Wire it quick. Keep it quiet. Family first. The kid fussed, dropping a cracker. Chloe shushed him soft, but her free hand tugged her sleeve down, a habit, like hiding something. My pulse kicked. Family? You mean covering for Brian's mess? Chloe, what's really going on? Has he laid a hand on you? On the boy? She froze, the kid squirming free to the floor. Mom jumped in. Don't start with accusations. Marriage has rough patches. Prayer and patience fix them. Divorce? That's the real scandal. The church would never forgive. Dad nodded once. Finally, listen to your mother. I stood slow, the chair, pushing back. Rough patches? If it's hands on rough, that's not patches. That's crime. Why protect him over her? Over your grandson? Chloe's eyes welled, her voice a whisper. Sarah, please just pay. He'll change for the baby. The kid toddled to her, tugging her leg. She scooped him up, but not before his sleeve rode up. A fresh red mark on his tiny arm, fingerprint shaped. My breath caught. He hit the boy too. Chloe. Mom slammed her palm flat on the table. Enough. This stays in the family. Pay the debt or get out. We won't have your interference stirring more dirt. Dad rose halfway, a hand on her shoulder, but stayed mute. Chloe clutched the kid tighter, tears spilling, silent. I grabbed my keys from the sideboard. Interference? This is enabling. Call me when you're ready for real help, not hush money. The door clicked shut behind me, cool night wrapping tight. Chloe's sobs echoed faint through the wood, but no one followed. I made it to the motel 2 blocks over, the room key cold in my fist. The betrayal fresh as that mark on the boy's skin, the motel room door stuck on the humidity warp, slamming shut behind me with a thud that echoed my pulse. I dropped the bag, sank onto the sagging bed, and pulled out my phone. The screen glowed harsh in the dim lamplight. Ava's number topped my recent calls. Last time we'd hashed out a contract for her firm's new site. No time for pleasantries. Ava, it's Sarah. I'm in Willow Creek. Family imploded. Sister's husband is beating her and the kid. Debts again. $100,000. I need your brain on this now. Her end went quiet. A beat, then sharp. Slow it down. Where are you safe? Motel off Main. Yeah, but Chloe just showed me marks on her boy. Fingerprints. She's trapped and Mom's pushing a cover up. Keys clacked fast. Okay. First, don't confront alone. Texas law's got teeth here. Family violence statute covers kids, too. We need evidence photos if she'll let you. Texts, anything documenting threats. I'll pull records on the debt's public filings for loans, maybe liens. I paced the thin carpet, linoleum creaking underfoot. She's scared. Mom's got the whole church angle. Keep it sacred. But this isn't prayer material. The church won't shield assault. Send me what you have. I'll loop in a PI contact for discreet checks on Brian's background prior. If it's child endangerment, CPS could fast-track custody. A knock rattled the door, soft, hesitant. I froze. Phone to ear. Hold, Ava. Someone's here. The peephole showed Chloe's face, streaked, the boy asleep on her shoulder. I cracked the door, pulled her in quick. She collapsed onto the chair, the kid stirring with a whimper. He woke up crying when you left. I couldn't stay. Ava's voice was tinny. That's her. Get details? Timeline of incidents, witnesses. I'm drafting a safety plan. I nodded, put her on speaker. Chloe, Ava's a lawyer who specializes in this. Tell us everything. Chloe rocked the boy, her gentle voice breaking low. It started small. Yells after losses at the track, then grabs, shoves into walls. Last month, he backhanded me for questioning the calls. The baby, he shook him once hard, when he wouldn't quiet. I hid it all. Mom said, tough love builds character, but tonight, seeing you stand up, I can't anymore. Her sleeve rode up as she shifted yellowed bruises, snaking up her forearm, old and new, layered. The boy mumbled in sleep, a tiny hand clutching her shirt. My throat tightened. Photos. Can we? She nodded, numb, held out her arm, steady. The flash captured the evidence, clinical in the bulb's glare. Then she lifted the kid's sleeve, cautious, a matching fade on his chubby elbow. He doesn't remember. Thank God. Ava whistled soft. That's enough for a protective order, emergency filing. Sarah, get her to a safe spot tomorrow. I'll have papers ready by morning. Debts? We verify legitimate ones post-separation, but illegal lenders? That's leverage for charges. Chloe wiped her eyes. What about Mom? She'll never forgive. Forgiveness later. Safety first. I squeezed her hand light. We'll get you out. Custody. New start. No more hiding. We mapped it out hour by hour. Ava emailing templates for statements. Me snapping dated notes on a motel notepad. Chloe recounted dates. Incidents pushed downstairs 3 weeks back. Locked out in the rain last winter. The boy slept through it. An oblivious anchor. By midnight, the plan solidified. No bailout. Straight to destruction. Report the violence. Freeze assets on Brian. Build the case airtight. Chloe curled on the spare bed with her son, her breaths evening out. I stared at the ceiling. Cracks. A fire kindling slow. This time, no walking away half done. Dawn cracked through the motel curtains, gray light spilling over the rumpled beds. Chloe stirred first, the boy still out cold beside her. I handed her coffee from the machine down the hall, black, no sugar, the way she took it since high school. Ready? I asked. She nodded, eyes puffy but set. Ava's email pinged overnight, protective order forms attached, stamped for emergency filing. We bundled the kid into his coat and hit the road before 8, straight to the sheriff's office in the next town over, neutral ground, away from church. Eyes. Ava met us in the lot, briefcase in hand, her suit sharp against the dusty stripes. Affidavits printed. Chloe, sign here. A sworn statement on the incidents. I witnessed the marks. Inside, the air hummed with fluorescent buzz and ringing phones. The deputy at intake, a stocky guy with a mustache, took the folder without fanfare. Photos crisped Chloe's arm, the boy's elbow, time-stamp stated. Her words spilled steady. He backhanded me, shook him once, locked me out in the rain. He threatened worse if I talked. She finished, her voice even. The deputy nodded, logging it. Qualifies for ex parte order. No notice yet. We'll serve it today. Ava leaned in. Debts? The illegal angles. I checked the prelim. Usury loans, unlicensed. That's DA territory. We'll flag it for investigation. By noon, the order was in hand, restraining Brian from contact, temporary custody to Chloe. File divorce papers next door, Ava said. Uncontested cruelty, endangerment, asset freeze on joint accounts pending. Child support automatic once served. Chloe exhaled slow, papers crinkling. Mom, she'll fight. Ava's smile edged hard. Accessory to concealment. Texas Penal Code covers failure to report child abuse. Her testimony seals it. She knew for years and pushed for cover. Civil suit for distress. We'll hit her savings. We drove back to the motel to pack, the boy in the back seat. My phone lit up mid-route. Frank's number. I hit speaker. Ava mouthing. Record. Sarah, where's Chloe? Brian's furious. Says you stole her. Fix this now. Fix it like 5 years ago. My grip tightened on the wheel. I filed an order. He was served by lunch. They have evidence, the marks on her and your grandson. Silence stretched. Then her voice cracked, shrill. You wouldn't. This is betrayal. The church? Betrayal is hiding it. You're suing me? 2 counts. Accessory 2. Mom pushed her back. The call went dead. Ava pocketed the recorder. Gold. Admission on tape. That afternoon, a call from dispatch. Brian arrested at his job, cuffs clicking on charges, assault, family violence, felony child endangerment, bond high, no release till the hearing. Chloe stared at a text photo of him in holding, relief, mixed with a faint ache. Done. Not yet, Ava said. Out of reach. We pushed for full custody, supervised visitation if ever. We loaded the car for Austin, Chloe in the passenger seat, the boy in the rear. The flatlands blurred, the tension easing mile by mile. My mom's voicemails piled up. Please, 2 accusations. I deleted them without listening. This wasn't payback. This was a system, a precision plan, grinding on him, on her complicity. Chloe reached over, a hand on mine. Thank you for seeing what I couldn't. The Austin skyline rose by dusk. First stop, a safe house. Ava arranged it. Locked doors, a code. Unpack. Breathe. Therapy intake tomorrow. The war was not won, but the strikes landed clean. 6 months flew by in a haze of court dates and client deadlines. But the fallout settled like dust after a storm. Chloe's divorce finalized clean, uncontested once Brian's lawyer saw the evidence stack. Full custody came through swift, the judge citing the boy's safety in the ruling. She moved into a one-bedroom near my agency, the kid's room painted soft blue with decals of the trucks he loved. Therapy stuck, twice weekly, her voice gaining an edge on calls. For the first time in years, I slept without jumping at shadows. Brian drew 3 years on the felony child endangerment charge, stacked with the assault. No plea deal. The DA pushed hard on the tape of Mom's call, painting him as cornered and volatile. Bail was revoked after a hearing where his outbursts sealed it. Prison intake photos circulated in family group chats I muted long ago. Hollow eyes, a jumpsuit hanging loose. The debts? Bankruptcy wiped the legit ones, but the illegal lenders scattered when the feds sniffed out unlicensed usury. He wrote Chloe once from lockup, promises of change she shredded, unread. Mom's world unraveled faster. The accessory suit hit her square, a civil judgment for emotional distress, $20,000 in damages plus fees. She fought it tooth and nail, dragging Dad into depositions where his silence finally cracked. I didn't know the half, he admitted under oath, his voice gravel. They separated, quiet, him crashing at a cousin's while she sold the house to cover the bill for closure loomed otherwise. The paper was stamped by month 4. Church elders called a meeting. Whispers of enabling sin turned to outright shunning. No more potlucks. No choir spot. Her text to me shifted from rage to please, help your mother, until I blocked the number clean. Dad reached out twice, his voicemails halting. Proud of what you've built, Sarah. Sorry I stood by. I listened once, deleted the rest. No bridge there. Not yet. Maybe never. My agency. It exploded. The Reclaim Your Mark series caught fire after a feature in Texas Monthly, interviews with clients, my story woven in as the backbone. Inquiries flooded in from nonprofits, boutiques run by survivors, even a national chain wanting rebrands for empowerment lines. We hired 2 juniors. The studio expanded to a full loft with exposed brick and drafting tables. The big award landed in the spring, a National Graphic Excellence ceremony in Dallas, with spotlights and handshakes. Standing on stage, the plaque heavy in my grip, I thought of that dinner table 5 years back. Not revenge, just proof. Chloe tagged along to the event, the boy in a tiny bow tie, clapping wild. You did this, she said after, hugging me tight in the hotel lobby. We clinked sodas to new starts. Her side gig, illustrating kids' books. My firm branching into workshops for abuse recovery groups. Looking back, the silence from home wasn't loss. It was space. Cutting TIs freed us to rebuild without the weight of old scripts. Mom's choices caught her. Brian's locked him down. I didn't lift a finger to soften it. Sometimes stepping back is the strongest move, letting consequences teach what words never could.